Bread sorting. Food Share program recovers baked goods from local grocery stores every day. This product is close dated, which means we are picking it up with 0, 1, or 2 days left before the product reaches its marked best before date. These items include sliced bread, buns and specialty breads such as wraps, garlic bread, French bread, and croissants. Sweets such as cakes, pies, cookies, and muffins. All bakery items will be sorted into banana boxes. Let's begin with sorting process for sliced bread. Sliced bread can be sorted into 4 separate categories: animal feed, past dated, today's date, and future upcoming dates. The first thing to look for is if the product is moldy, stale, or damaged. If moldy, stale, or damaged, then the loaf of sliced bread can be placed in the farmer's bin. If the loaf of bread is not moldy, stale, or damaged, the next thing we need to do is check the best before date. The best before date location may vary. The most common place on a loaf of bread to find the best before date is on the bread tag that keeps the bag closed. If the best before date is not located on the bread tag, then the rest of the packaging must be inspected to locate the marked best before date. Once the best before date has been located, the listed best before date will determine next course of action. If the date listed is already passed, this product will be sorted into a banana box with other past dated sliced bread. Once this box of past dated sliced bread has been filled, it is stacked neatly in the walk-in freezer to be frozen for redistribution to area food banks. If the best before date indicates a current date, the loaf can be sorted into a separate banana box for just current date loaves. Once this box is full, all the bread has been sorted, this product can be taken directly to client distribution area for immediate distribution if needed. If client distribution area is full of sliced bread and not in need of restocking, then the current dated bread can be frozen in the walk-in freezer for future distribution. Sliced bread with the best before date that has an upcoming or future date can be sorted into another separate banana box, and once filled, future dated bread can be stored on a bread shelf for stocking and distribution on the next day. If no best before date can be found, then the product will be visually inspected and sorted accordingly. Buns and specialty breads can be sorted into 2 categories: past dated and future upcoming dates. The first thing to look for is if the product is moldy, stale, or damaged. If moldy, stale, or damaged, then the bakery item can be placed in the farmer's bin. If the bread is not moldy, stale, or damaged, the next thing we need to check is the best before date. The location of the best before date can vary. The most common place to find the best before date on buns and specialty breads is on the printed label or price tag. If the best before date is not located on the label, the rest of the package must be inspected to locate the marked best before date. Once the best before date has been located, the listed best before date will determine the next course of action. If the date listed is already passed, this product will be sorted into the farmer's bin to be used as animal feed. If the best before date is of the current day's date, then the buns or specialty bread can be taken and stocked in the client distribution area if needed. If not needed due to lots of current stock, then current date buns and specialty breads can be sorted into the farmer's bin for animal feed. Buns and specialty bread with a best before date that has an upcoming or future date can be sorted into another separate banana box, and once filled with future dated bread, it can be stored on a bread shelf for stocking and distribution on the next day. If no best before date can be found, then the product will be visually inspected and sorted accordingly. Sweets. Process is same as followed for sliced bread with one exception. Sweets that contain creams, dairy, and fruit toppings and are sorted for next day distribution must be stored in the walk-in cooler overnight rather than on the bread shelf. The Food Share program recovers produce every day from local grocery retailers. Product is recovered and transported to the food bank warehouse in Rubbermaid totes. It is very important to have the produce sorting area set up and prepared properly for the processing of close-dated produce. The setup includes cleaning the counter and wiping it down with a cleaning solution, placing clean produce trays across the sorting counter, placing bins of unsorted produce in a single line 3 feet away from and parallel to the sorting counter. Unsorted produce bins must not be stacked more than 3 bins high. Empty Rubbermaid tote available for animal feed. At each end of the sorting counter, place an empty banana box as a place to put dirty bin lids. Do not put box on the floor, as this is a tripping hazard. Gloves, scissors, and supplies are located under the sorting counter. Once the area is properly set up, we are ready to sort produce. The majority of the fruits and veggies we process do not have best before dates and must be inspected visually by smell and feel to determine if it is safe for human consumption. Some of the produce is marked by a best before date. such as bagged salads and fruit and veggie trays. For this product that is marked with the best before date, we must honor that date and set aside any produce that is past dated for animal feed. Produce that is not acceptable for human consumption and has been determined as animal feed must be removed from all packaging, all twist ties and elastic bands removed and placed in the garbage. The culled produce can then be placed in the animal feed bin. Once produce trays on the sorting counter are full, they can be removed from the counter and loaded onto produce carts or stacked directly into the walk-in cooler. If the trays are too heavy, please do not lift, ask for help. It is very important to keep your workplace clean and free of any tripping or slipping hazards. FoodShare recovers dairy products every day from local retailers. All dairy product with the exception of cheese and yogurt must be sorted according to its best before date. Only cheese and yogurt can be distributed past their marked best before date. When sorting dairy products from the Rubbermaid totes, it is helpful to have a couple banana boxes to sort any past dated product into. It is important to inspect all packaging for leaks, damage, or opening. If the product is any of these, it must be set into a banana box for animal feed. Inspect all dairy items for best before dates. If product is past dated, then the product is placed in a banana box designated for animal feed. If the product has today's date, it will be set aside with other current date product to be used and distributed. Product that has an upcoming or future date will be sorted into the dairy cooler in an organized manner for distribution the following day. Yogurt can be distributed up to 7 days past the best before date. Cheese that is past dated can be distributed as long as there is no mold on the product. The Kamloops Food Bank offers 7 different types of non-perishable hampers: single, double, family, diabetic, high protein, prenatal, and transient. We have 3 sections to our hamper shelf. On the left, the product that is marked with the yellow label is dedicated for use in orders and deliveries to larger meal programs and agencies. In the middle section of the hamper shelf, the product that is marked by white labels is product that is dedicated for use in our 3 standard household hampers: single, double, and family. To the right on the hamper shelf are green labels, which indicate product that is to be used when preparing specialty hampers. Under the hamper counter, you will find bins that contain bags for bagging, markers, and supplies. Each of these hamper types follow their own ingredients list. The hamper lists are stored at the end of the hamper counter on the bottom shelf. It is very important to check with the warehouse coordinator and determine which of the 7 types of hampers are top priority for being made. Once the type of hamper to be made has been determined, you will need the hamper list, marker, and bags. Regarding substitutions, if we are out of stock of any listed items that go into the hampers, inform the warehouse coordinator what is missing. If we have excess of another product, he can instruct you on what to substitute, if anything. Only the warehouse coordinator can make decisions on when to and if we can substitute for missing items. Every donation that comes into the food bank gets processed in our non-perishable sorting area. This area is very important. This is where we inspect product and make the determination on if it's safe for human consumption and redistribution. We have some very strong guidelines and policies provided to our organization by Food Banks Canada and the BC Centre for Disease Control. Food safety guidelines that must be followed. Best before dates. With all canned goods, we can distribute product up to 1 year past the marked best before date. Product that is in permeable packaging, such as mac and cheese, dry pasta, rice, cereal, and crackers, we can distribute this product up to 6 months past the best before date. Products such as baby items and nutritional supplements, Boost or Ensure, are not marked with the best before date, but with expiry dates and cannot be distributed past the marked best before date. Product in glass containers are considered canned products. Home canned products are not acceptable for redistribution. All dented cans must be inspected to determine whether the dent is still safe for redistribution. Boxes without inner bags. If packaging is damaged and opened directly to the product, such as KD, this must be thrown out as there is a high risk the product may be contaminated. Boxes with inner bags. If the package is damaged but the product is still contained within a sealed plastic bag, the product is still safe and acceptable to be sorted and processed for redistribution. Discard any that are ripped, torn, or punctured. At the front end of the sorting shelf, there are 2 boxes identified by red labels. These boxes are for dented and damaged product and expired and past dated product. Sorting process. The only equipment you will need for sorting non-perishable donations will be a felt marker. Generally, the back corner and the counter will have unsorted donations that are ready for processing. Inspect the donation closely for a best before date. Once the best before date has been identified, circle the date without marking over the date. If a best before date cannot be located, set the product to the side for another volunteer or staff member to inspect. Once the best before date has been circled, continue inspecting the donation, looking for the barcode. Using your marker, place a line vertically through the barcode. This ensures the product will not be returned to a store. If you are working with canned product, while you are looking for the best before date and barcode, visually inspect the can for unacceptable dents or damage. If the product is not past the accepted date range, barcode is marked, and there is no unacceptable damage, the product can be sorted into its corresponding product box located on the sorting shelf. If you are working with non-canned product, the best before date and barcode process is the same, but you will be inspecting the box or packaging for rips, tears, or opening. When sorting baby products and nutritional supplements, you will be looking for an expiry date, not a best before date. If the current date is past the marked expiry date, this product must be sorted into the expired items box. If the expiry date has not been passed, the product can be marked and inspected using the same process as other donations. We have 77 categories on the sorting shelf that donations can be sorted into. As well as underneath the sorting counter, there are bins for additional product, plastic bags, supplies, and garbage. When boxes on the sorting shelf have been filled, check the box for weight. If you are at all concerned with your safety in lifting the filled box, do not lift. Notify a staff member or another volunteer that is comfortable with lifting to remove the box from the shelf. The box can be placed on the counter where a lid can be fitted onto the box and then labeled with masking tape and a marker to indicate the product type within the box. The full and labeled box can then be stacked at the end of the sorting shelf. It is always very important that volunteers do not lift anything that they are not comfortable lifting. Please ask for assistance from a staff member or volunteer. We pride ourselves on providing a safe and respectful environment for a diverse group of volunteers and are pleased to welcome you into our organization. We hope your volunteer experience is meaningful and positive.